What is happening, outdoor enthusiasts, and welcome to the real outdoors. Today I am going to talk with you about my 3 favorite pieces of gear. For those of you that are new to the channel, I talk about the outdoors, camping, hiking, backpacking, hunting, and all the outdoors gear that goes along with it. If that's what you're looking for, you've come to the right place. Click that red subscribe button down there, and if you want to get notified of when I come out with new videos, click that little notification bell along with the subscribe button. So let's get right into the gear that is my favorite gear for the outdoors. I am currently sitting in my favorite piece of gear, and that is my Warbonnet Outdoors Blackbird XLC hammock. I absolutely love this hammock. This hammock, I tell people all the time, is more comfortable than my bed at home, and that is the truth. I sleep so well in this hammock. I plan to do a whole video just on camping and hammocks because that is my preferred method for camping, and we'll talk in that video about why it's my preferred method, but let's talk about this piece of gear in this video. So this is the Blackbird XLC. Like I said, I actually have the one with 2 layers, so it's got a layer on the bottom and one inside. Gives you a place to put your sleeping pad if that's what you choose to use for your underside insulation. It also helps prevent bugs from biting through the bottom of your hammock when you're laying in it if you're not using an underquilt. The Warbonnet XLC is a longer hammock, so it gives you a little more room. The Blackbird is an asymmetric cut hammock, and that just means it's not a standard rectangle with gathered ends. It's a off-angle cut, and that creates this nice little foot box back here. That's where you stick your feet, and I'm telling you, when you stick your feet up in that foot box area, it slides your head down so that you are at a perfect diagonal and lay nice and flat. No calf ridge in this hammock. It is just super, super comfortable. On the other end, it has this shelf for you to store little knickknacks that you need while you're camping. I put all kinds of stuff up there, my earbuds, earplugs, my Kindle, just all kinds of random little things I put up here. Maybe some extra clothes if you're afraid you're gonna get cold in the middle of the night, but it supposedly will hold about 50 pounds. I don't think I've ever pushed it to that. I just put little knickknacks in there. It's a nice place to have some storage in a hammock because most hammocks you really have nowhere to store anything. You can see it also gets staked out here in the front. It pulls this bug net off your face, keeps those bugs from biting through the bug net because that's right where your head lies in the hammock. You can see behind my neck here also has a built-in ridge line. I use that to make sure I've got the correct hang on it, but then I also usually hang a light or a fan from that ridge line. It comes in real handy for both of those things. I can't say enough good about this hammock. It is so comfortable, so nice. I've had it now at least 5 years, if not more. I've slept well over 200 nights in it. I absolutely love it. I like it so much, I actually got my son one too. He has the newer version that'll open from either end. This one only has the opening on one end. And so as a result, I put a little orange tape on one end of the suspension so I know which end is my foot end and where I want to put that, which will determine where I exit and enter the hammock. I also added 2 carabiners to the suspension system. I have the webbing with the buckles suspension system. You can get a whoopee sling suspension system for the Blackbird. It weighs less, but I like the webbing and buckles. It's a little bit easier. I didn't get this to be lightweight, and I just added some carabiners on there to wrap around the tree when I hang it. As far as specifications are concerned, it is an 11-foot hammock. It weighs right at 2 pounds with the hammock, suspension, bug net, all that. That's not including the stakes to stake out the bug net and your shelf here in the back. You need 2 stakes for that, but without the stakes, it's right at 2 pounds. You can find out more about it at warbonnet.outdoors.com. They have lots of different hammocks, including lightweight ones for backpacking. As I said, I didn't really get this one for backpacking, although 2 pounds really is not unreasonable if I do want to take it backpacking. I have taken it on the AT, the Appalachian Trail, and my pack was a little heavy, but I was still pretty inexperienced with backpacking at that point. It is perfectly capable of using for backpacking. Favorite item number 2 is my Enlightened Equipment top quilt. This thing is amazing. So it is a down top quilt. This is the Revelation Custom. I got the Digicam 20D nylon exterior, the Forest 10D interior. The down is treated for water resistance. I got the zipped foot box versus the sewn foot box, so I can actually open this up and have it just be like a blanket. I've actually used it for that several times when I'm sitting at a campsite and I'm cold. I'll pull this out and just use it like a blanket. It's super, super warm. It packs down super small. In fact, I have a Snug Pack Jungle bag, which is a 40-degree bag. This is a 20-degree rated bag. And my Snug Pack will pack down real small. This actually fits in the Snug Pack stuff sack and will pack down super, super small. Weighs right at 26 ounces, so very lightweight, very comfortable. I actually got the extra wide one, mainly because I sleep in a hammock. I wanted it to be able to wrap around my shoulders. I didn't want it so narrow that I couldn't get it around my shoulders and be comfortable. So I added some width to this so that it was a little wider than your average top quilt. And then of course the colors, that's really what make this custom other than just a stock Revelation quilt from Enlightened Equipment. My third piece of favorite equipment is actually brand new to me. It is my Hyperlite Mountain Gear backpack from Hyperlite Mountain Gear, obviously. I went with the 70-liter, I think it's called the Windrider. It's the only one with this netted back and netted side pockets. Their models change based on how this is set up. Either no pockets, you'll have a fully covered back pocket instead of mesh with mesh side pockets, or full solid material all the way around. This is the 4400, which is the 70-liter. I went with the 70-liter, which is their biggest one, over any of the rest because with this roll top that Hyperlite Mountain Gear backpacks have, I really can make it just about any size I want. It already cut the weight of my old pack by over half, so I wasn't overly concerned about the weight. So I went with the biggest pack I could, and then I just roll the top down based on whatever gear I have. But I've found at certain times, especially with groups where I'm carrying group gear, I want to have the space available. And for basically for less than half a pound extra, I was able to get the 70-liter versus like the 55-liter or smaller. This one comes in right at 2.4 pounds just for the pack itself. It's made from Dyneema or Cuban fiber, basically a composite fabric, super, super strong, basically waterproof except for where the seams are. But I don't even plan to carry a pack cover with this pack. I actually have it packed right now during the quarantine because I've been hiking with it or walking with it almost every day. So I just have a lot of random gear in here just to add some weight. And I've been carrying it every day. It is super, super comfortable. I will say I was very careful about measuring my back to make sure I got the right size pack. I was actually on the line between medium and large, and Hyperlite recommends going up if you're right on the line, so I went up. It fits perfectly. The waist belt, right when I put it on, sits right where my navel is, right where my belly button is, and that's where it should sit. All the weight rests on my hips. It's amazingly comfortable. I hardly even know I have it on. Obviously, I haven't had it on a lot of backpacking trips, but I do plan to use it at Philmont this year, and I cannot wait. It's super easy. I love the one single big tube pocket, not a bunch of pockets to go searching for gear through. I just throw everything in the one big pocket that I have. Maybe some extra stuff out here to dry if you have some wet gear to put out here. I'll probably put my camp shoes back here just to keep the dirt and grime out of my main pack. And then of course, two big water pockets here. I know I said this would be my top 3 favorite pieces of gear, which it is, but I wanted to give one bonus item. And this is kind of a luxury item that I just cannot live without, even in the hammock, and that is my pillow. So this is a Cocoon pillow. Weighs next to nothing. Used to have an air bladder in it. It broke on me after about 3 years of owning this pillow. And right now, I just opened up the cover and I shoved my puffy jacket in there. So I've basically got a down pillow. I always have my puffy jacket with me. And so this is like my bonus luxury piece of gear. So this is all I have to carry is just the cover. I'm already bringing my puffy jacket or wearing it. And that becomes my pillow. It's got a nice soft felt side and a cool nylon side. Super, super comfortable. Definitely something that goes with me on every camp out, whether I'm in a tent or a hammock. As always, I'll put the links to all this gear down in the description. I just wanted to say something I wish I'd known when I first got started buying outdoor gear is basically, I call it the buy once, cry once philosophy. And that is, I feel like I'm much better off spending as much as I can on good quality gear. So my Enlightened equipment, the Hyperlite mount gear, my Warbonnet hammock, they're all made by cottage vendors and they're a little bit more expensive than, say, you know, the knockoff stuff you get from China or big brand manufacturers. I've found it's much nicer gear. You have a real individual that you deal with if you have any customer service issues. Most of it is made, all of this is made right here in the United States. To me, it's worth it. I used to own different brands of hammocks. Once I got this one, it was night and day difference. The quilt, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better piece of equipment than this top quilt. My backpack is amazing. I'm sure I could get some cheap Chinese knockoffs, but it would be a cheap Chinese knockoff. It just wouldn't be the same. If you're able to afford it, I highly recommend purchasing your outdoor gear from these cottage vendors. They're fantastic people. They really take care of their customers and they make really good quality gear. Those are my top 3 favorite pieces of outdoor gear. Let me know in the comments what your favorite pieces of outdoor gear are. I'd love to hear what everyone else is using and what you guys love. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we come out with new videos. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the real outdoors.